Iran and 2 U.S. envoys, which the president says began over the weekend, even though Iran's parliament speaker denied that in a social media post. President Trump says in a long history of talks with the U.S., Iran means business this time.
They want peace. They've agreed they will not have a nuclear weapon, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll see. You have to get it done. But I would say there's a very good chance. And it began when I said that we were planning tomorrow on shooting down some of their power plants, and we're going to hold that up. Hopefully we won't have to do it.
The president now giving Iran at least 5 days to avoid attacks on its energy infrastructure by releasing its grip on the critical Strait of Hormuz. The president speaking in Memphis at a roundtable event meant to highlight a federal crime crackdown in the city, where he also said Republicans should link a Homeland Security funding bill to new voter ID requirements.
The new ask from the president is for Republicans in the Senate to combine DHS funding with the Save America Act.
Because voter ID is part of Homeland Security. Think of it. We're talking about two separate items, but they're really the same.
The Save America Act would require proof of citizenship to register to vote, a photo ID at polling places, and restrictions on mail-in balloting. It is well short of the 60 votes needed to overcome a filibuster, and a DHS bill has stalled, triggering a funding lapse now into its 6th week.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Democrats want immigration enforcement reforms as part of a DHS spending bill. Democrats also criticizing the president's decision to send ICE agents to airports, helping with TSA staffing issues that have caused long security lines as a partial government shutdown continues. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
We have an accident blocking your right shoulder on I-75 southbound at Sibley Road and some construction blocking your right lane on M59 westbound between Shannon Road and M53. That's until 3 p.m. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Cloudy with occasional snow today, a high of 38. Partly cloudy skies tonight will drop down to 22. Mostly cloudy Tuesday with a high of 47. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
For many retirees, changes to interest rates could mean your lump sum options will reduce. Choosing between a lump sum and monthly pension options, like all retirement decisions, shouldn't be an emotional decision. It's a math problem. Most people and professionals are doing the wrong math. Hi, I'm Kurt Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturday, 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. A complete retirement plan should guide every major decision in order to maximize efficiency. If you want to retire early, spend more, and reduce your anxiety, join us for our near master's level 8-hour retirement education courses, where we have taught tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million. To register for a course or watch updated webinars, visit refedu.org. That's refedu.org. Classes are held at major universities in Michigan and Missouri. $29 tuition goes to charity. Courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
Planning spring business travel? Start your trip the professional way with Metro Cars. Let a professional Metro Car chauffeur pick you right up at your doorstep and take you directly to curbside check-in. For executives and corporate travelers, time and reliability matter, whether you're catching an early morning flight, arriving for an important meeting, or arranging transportation for visiting clients and leadership teams. Metro Cars provides dependable airport transportation designed around your schedule. With experienced chauffeurs on a premium fleet of sedans, SUVs, vans, and buses, Metro Cars delivers a comfortable, quiet ride that allows you to stay focused and arrive prepared. Celebrating over 35 years of excellence, Metro Cars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. When your schedule matters and professionalism counts, trust the transportation company Michigan business travelers have relied on for 4 decades. Reserve your ride today at metrocars.com.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
It's more than news. It's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hey, let's go on a Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. Beth Ann Long is here. Danielle Mason is here. Rich Lazinski is here as well on this, well, it looks like a perfect Monday in spring, does it not? We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to get a lot of discussion on some news topics, but a bit of a deviation from that. Beth Ann Long, first and foremost, how is your bracket? Because I know that's what everybody is concerned with today. Brackets busted all over the place, perhaps?
Mine could be worse, but it's still not looking great.
I am actually fine with my bracket. Did you know, by the way, that there's really no way to get a real sense of where everybody's bracket is, but it's estimated that 60 to 100 million brackets have been filled out. Do you know how many perfect brackets remain?
No.
0.
Oh.
After one weekend of college basketball, March Madness, there are 0 perfect brackets still. And the odds of that happening are off the charts. And that's why you have all of these different contests. Oh, here's $100 million to the perfect bracket, or $1 billion if you have a perfect bracket. It's virtually impossible to have a perfect bracket. And there are none remaining. And I will welcome back to the show now, officially, Danielle Mason, who was off on Friday, Danielle. And I apparently was calling Beth Ann Danielle for the entire first 30 minutes of the show.
You missed me so much.
Well, perhaps.
It was a Freudian slip.
It was. We are glad to have you back. It is your birthday week, I'm hearing. Is that correct?
My birthday's on Saturday. Coming Saturday. So I'll be gone again.
Well, good for you. Happy early birthday to
Thanks,
you.
bud.
If I forget towards the end of the week, I'll tell you now. So then I've officially said it, right, Beth Ann? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, you got to get ahead of it.
And we got it recorded. We got it on tape. So I can't come back to you and say you didn't tell me happy birthday.
There you go. Just as long as we put it on tape, it's all good. Ladies, we've got a great show for everybody today. Going to get you an update on Operation Epic Fury, a major development there, and the markets are reacting very positively. We'll get you an update. Also, a big part of the show today is going to be regarding the SAVE Act, voter ID, where the American public is, what the president is saying about it. And we're going to have an interview at 2:34 with a gentleman by the name of Chuck Brown. He is the Michigan chair of Our Republican Legacy. Also, he was the co-chair of Republicans for Harris during the 2024 election. So we'll get his take on the SAVE Act, and not maybe perhaps what you think it would be. So we'll get his take on that, and we'll hear from you as well. I do want to get you caught up on some news regarding the terrible tragedy that happened in New York. 2 pilots were killed when an Air Canada jet hit a fire truck on the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. And if I could just say, the video of this just came out within the last hour. Nowadays in news, we see everything. You hear about these tragic stories, and now you see them. It is brutal to watch this. And, the flights had been canceled in and out of LaGuardia today until 2 p.m. At last word, LaGuardia Airport has reopened now. But that plane, 41 passengers were hurt and sent to the hospital. The plane itself had 72 passengers and 4 crew members on board. I want you to listen to the chaos in the air traffic control center. This is how it sounded in the air traffic control last night.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing Florida Delta.
Frontier 4195 to stop there, please. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Stop, truck 1, stop. Del 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle here, just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Is the runway closed?
Del 2603, go around, runway heading 2000.
Heading 2000, go around, Del 2603.
See a tower.
Truck 2, runway 4 is closed, correct?
Yes, go on to runway 4 now. Proceed on runway 4, you have access. Frontier 4195, I got the word that we're going to be closed for a little while. If you want to prepare to return to the ramp, let me know.
Yeah, we got stuff in progress for that, man. That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier, and I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
Now, that's chilling. That's absolutely chilling. Couple of things about that. One, the admission from the air traffic controller saying he messed up is gut-wrenching. Then the Frontier pilot trying to reassure the controller. That is really difficult. And at the beginning of that audio, I'm not sure if you picked up on it or not, but the controller was talking to Delta Flight 2603. That flight was coming in from Detroit. Thankfully, was able to safely navigate around that collision. But again, the video just came out. It is brutal to watch. And the first deaths at LaGuardia Airport since 1992. So we'll get you an update on that. NTSB is going to give an update momentarily, and any news that is relayed from there, we'll get it to you. Meanwhile, a little bit closer to home, Wayne State University is widening access to a college degree with a major boost for transfer students. For more on this, WJR's Marie Osborne brings us the details. Hey, Marie.
Hi there, Ryan. So starting in the fall of 2026, students who move to Wayne State University from another college and they meet the income and academic requirements, now they can have their full tuition and standard fees covered for up to 2 years. The expansion builds on the Wayne State Guarantee, which already supports first-year students. Now more than 1,000 additional learners could qualify for this. So to be eligible, transfer students have to come from Michigan high schools. They have to have a family income of $80,000 or below, limited assets, and at least 3.25 GPA across all prior college coursework. University leaders say transfer students bring experience, they bring determination, and that lowering financial barriers helps them finish their degrees. Last year alone, more than 1,300 transfer students enrolled at Wayne State, most arriving from community colleges, and nearly half were first in their families to attend college. About 70% of the full-time transfer students ultimately graduate. That's a rate, Ryan, well above the state average. That's why Wayne State really wants to get on board with this.
We are so blessed to have such a great university right in the middle of our city. And I do think that transfer students see that and they say, I want to come home. Let's come home. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. All right, Marie, thanks so much. We appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, coming up next, voter ID, the SAVE Act. It's a huge topic of conversation. The president talking about it again today. Where is the American people with this? The latest information regarding that, and we'll get a perspective coming up at 2:34 from the Michigan chair of Our Republican Legacy, formerly the gentleman that co-chaired Republicans for Harris. We'll get his take at 2:34, 760 WJR.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, please, God, no.
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Use daily. One platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Planning spring business travel? Start your trip the professional way with MetroCars. Let a professional MetroCar chauffeur pick you right up at your doorstep and take you directly to curbside check-in. For executives and corporate travelers, time and reliability matter, whether you're catching an early morning flight, arriving for an important meeting, or arranging transportation for visiting clients and leadership teams. MetroCars provides dependable airport transportation designed around your schedule. With experienced chauffeurs on a premium fleet of sedans, SUVs, vans, and buses, MetroCars delivers a comfortable, quiet ride that allows you to stay focused and arrive prepared. Celebrating over 35 years of excellence, MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. When your schedule matters and professionalism counts, trust the transportation company Michigan business travelers have relied on for 4 decades. Reserve your ride today at metrocars.com.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2026 Women Who Lead class. Renee Fluker, founder and CEO of College Career Beyond Midnight Golf, is proud of her program.
From 17 to over 3,000 young people that we still stay in contact with. I'm doing a database now. The first Midnight Golf kids up until 2018, and you should see their careers.
Special thanks to University of Michigan Health, Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital for supporting Women Who Lead.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by MapQuest.
Before smartphones, there was MapQuest. Before GPS, there was MapQuest. Before Google Maps, there was MapQuest. And guess what? MapQuest is back. Now on your phone. No printer required. Download the MapQuest app on the App Store or visit mapquest.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Is your roof showing its age? Now that's the perfect time to replace it with Weather Seal Home Improvements. For a limited time, when you choose Weather Seal for your roof project, you'll receive a $500 gas card. That's a brand new roof and money for the pump. Now that's a good deal. Schedule today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. Watch out for a vehicle fire blocking your right lane on I-96 westbound after Logan Street. We've got an accident blocking your right shoulder on I-75 southbound at Sibley Road as well. And some construction slowing you down on M59 westbound between Shaner and M53. That's blocking your right lane. Should wrap up by 3 p.m. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Headed to the upper 50s Wednesday and then mid-60s on the way for Thursday. Today, mostly cloudy. We'll get up to around 40 with scattered snow showers possible. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 24. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 49. From the Weather Channel, I'm Jeff Eno on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up Tuesday on JR Morning, with the president's decision to pause strikes on energy infrastructure in Iran, is a diplomatic path being paved? We'll discuss. Plus, Mish Auto has created a statewide policy roadmap for the future of the automotive industry. Glenn Stevens joins us. And what's the latest on that sought-after funding for DHS? Join us for JR Morning, 6 to 9 on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
$760 WJR. Want to thank everybody who is giving us part of your day to listen in on 760 WJR, the WJR free mobile app, or of course on YouTube, where I'm waving to everybody right now that is watching maybe on your flat screen TV. You've got us on at the house. You're sitting on the couch. You're doing a little bit of work, going about your business, your chores. Have us in the background. We appreciate it. As we hope you like what you see on YouTube. I know it's maybe not that exciting to see me sit behind a microphone, but it's just another way to meet you where you are, and hopefully you like it. I get a kick out of it every now and again, seeing myself just sit here and talk to you all. Really appreciate it. Good stuff. And again, you can subscribe to 760 WJR on YouTube. It will not cost you a penny. Doesn't cost a thing. The only thing it does is it makes it easier for you to find us when you are looking for us. And we've got over 500 subscribers, an additional 500 subscribers since we started doing this, and we appreciate each and every one of you. One of our main focuses of the show today will be about the SAVE Act and where this is going and what should happen. And we'll take your calls in a little bit, not just yet, because I've got a guest coming up in the next block, and I don't want everybody to sit there and wait until after that interview is done. But nonetheless, simple question is, do our elected leaders work for us? I think it's a pretty simple question, but do you believe that our elected leaders follow the will of the people? Or do they just do whatever they want and damned be your wishes? Because the current debate on requiring photo ID and proof of citizenship is not much of a debate. It is completely lopsided. Poll after poll after poll, no matter who conducts it, says the American people want this. They want voter ID to vote. They want proof of citizenship to register to vote. Now, results from the latest poll on the topic, and mind you, this has been in the news cycle for quite some time. It is not something that is catching anybody off guard. Political pundits, no matter which news you follow, no matter which news you watch, no matter which newspaper you read, everybody's got an opinion on it, and it appears that the opinion, for the most part, is in line with the people. Here you go. Here's the question, and this is the latest poll from CBS News and YouGov. Question: require a photo ID to vote. 80% of the people favor. 80% of the American people favor this topic. 20% oppose it. If you break it down by party, 95% of Republicans favor it. 65% of Democrats favor it. That's an overwhelming majority. Not only 65% of Democrats favor it, but 79% of independents favor it. So in this latest poll, 95% of Republicans, 65% of Democrats, 79% of independents favor photo ID. Question 2, requiring documents showing proof of citizenship to register to vote. 66% favor. 2/3 of the American public favor this part of the issue when it comes to the SAVE Act. Now, voting by mail, that is something that is all over the place. All voters who want to be able to vote by mail, 77% of Democrats, 49% of independents, and 25% of Republicans believe that all voters who want to vote by mail could vote by mail. And then there's some other physically unable to vote in person, 21% of Democrats, 40% of independents, 58% of Republicans. But if you just take the major issues there, photo ID to vote and proof of citizenship to register to vote, overwhelming majorities of this country, the people, agree to this. Now, on Friday nights, Real Time with Bill Maher, Maher discusses the issue with longtime Democratic strategist Paul Begala. You see him on CNN all the time. You've seen him for years, for decades. He's been out there, Paul Begala. And Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. And believe it or not, they all agree. Can you believe it? Here's part of that conversation.
83% of independents, 71% of Democrats, and 76% of black voters are okay with this. We could have a grand bargain, couldn't we? Where, like, how about Election Day is a national holiday.
I agree with that.
Really?
Round of applause. We should give an. I certainly do. Encourage people to vote.
Get a picture ID. Right. And we'll pay for it. The government will pay, because some people can't, because a lot of people can't vote because they just don't have it and they can't afford it. A passport costs $165. Couldn't we just get one win on the board with this kind of shit?
We did.
Without playing games.
There was a
Paul.
Democrats should agree to voter ID. Period.
I like
and
that. I'll stop
Republicans,
that.
they should.
Voter
and
ID.
Republicans should. 36 states already have voter ID. I live in Virginia. We have it. The Democrats just won a landslide and elected the first black speaker of the Virginia General Assembly. So it's not some racist thing. It's not. So they ought to do that. But
So I'm not sure what you were able to catch or not. It probably got across on the YouTube. There was a cuss word in there. We apologize for that. We had to dump a little bit of that. But Paul Begala says this is not a major issue. Everybody believes you should have some form of voter ID. And in Virginia, they just elected a Democratic governor, and Democrats won up and down the aisle. So, and if you go to Georgia as well, in Georgia back in 2021, 39 states, 36 or 39 states have this right now instituted in their policy, in their election coverage. So why can't we just do that in the other 20, in the other quick math, 19 states or whatever that don't have it? You know, in Georgia, this was such a political issue, and I talk about this a lot. Major League Baseball pulled the All-Star game from Georgia because of these voter ID laws. And what happened? In 2022, Georgia had their largest midterm election turnout in the history of elections in the state of Georgia. And what happened 2 years after that in 2024? Georgia had their largest presidential election, the amount of people casting a ballot in the history of Georgia state elections. And no different in Virginia here in 2024. This is not a crazy issue. Why can't we have a grand bargain, as Bill Maher puts it? Put these two things on the books, and you can make it a national holiday. Why not be able to do that? We're going to talk to somebody who does not believe that the SAVE Act is on the right track. We're going to talk to somebody that believes there is no widespread nationwide election fraud. And we're going to do that next. Then we'll take your calls as well at 800-859-0WJR. So we'll do this. We'll take your calls. And can't we get anything done that the people actually want, that the people actually agree on? 760 WJR.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You will be facing major retirement decisions soon, and the math should drive every decision. And most people and professionals are using the wrong math. This explains why some families can safely withdraw 7 to 8% annually, while others struggle to spend 4%. Without understanding the math and the proper risk mitigation strategies, fear takes over, leading to undersaving, delayed retirement, spending far less than you could, and paying much more in taxes. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturdays 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. To understand the correct math that should drive decisions around Social Security, lump sum versus pensions, RMDs, Roth conversions, and when you can retire plus more, attend our 8-hour almost master's level retirement education course. We teach at major universities both in Michigan and Missouri. $29 tuition goes to charity. Go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. Sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
Follow us on Twitter at WJR Radio.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. President Trump on social media today claiming the United States and Iran were having very good and productive conversations, and he was pausing his planned strikes on Iranian power plants for 5 days.
We eliminated everything there is to eliminate, and we eliminated them. We eliminated their leaders.
Iran has threatened to strike critical infrastructure across the Middle East if the U.S. hits their power plants. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says oil prices could go even lower if they can come to a deal.
We see a pathway to have the Straits of Hormuz open soon and energy flowing again. You'd see energy prices drop pretty significantly.
The president had threatened to strike Iran's power plants if they didn't reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has been attacking commercial ships. And an Air Canada jet carrying more than 70 passengers collided with a fire truck while landing in New York's LaGuardia Airport. It killed 2 pilots and injured several others. LaGuardia is now reopening. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have an accident blocking your right shoulder on I-75 southbound at Sibley Road. Another wreck on M59 westbound between Shaner and M53 that's closing your right lane. And expect occasional stop and go on the Jeffries in both directions between Levan and I-275. We still have that construction project blocking your 2 left lanes there. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Cloudy with occasional snow showers today, high of 38. Partly cloudy skies tonight will drop down to 22. Mostly cloudy Tuesday with a high of 47. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
Hey, gang. It's Ryan Ermanni here. I want to tell you about my friends at Paramount Roofing, who, by the way, are at my house right now. How about that? Absolutely. We made the call. Hopefully you do as well. You know, living in Michigan, March is when we start to see what winter has done to our homes. All the snow, all the ice, all the wind. It takes a huge toll on your roof. When I met with Eric Reno, the owner, and his team, they showed me how they make the whole process incredibly easy. All you need to do is visit weareroofing.com. Going to get an instant free roof quote. No waiting, no pressure, just real information. And what I love is their approach. Everything is built to last and backed for life. They truly deliver a 5-star roofing experience made easy from start to finish. My wife just called me before the show and she was like, I love these guys. They were at the house checking out our roof and everything that we needed at the house. And I'm worried, if you are worried about timing or budget, don't. Paramount Roofing offers no money down plus 5 years, 0% interest, which makes protecting your home or your business a whole lot more manageable. They handle both residential and commercial roofing. So whether it's your home, your office, the property you manage, they've got you covered. Spring is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time to check out that roof before the heavy rains arrive. Get your instant free quote today at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Paramount Roofing.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
Our Representative Bill Huizenga is standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. He knows the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
College basketball fans, is your favorite team going to be crowned the national champion? Listen to WJR for all the big games of the NCAA tournament with Westwood One's exclusive game coverage, sponsored locally by Tryon Solutions. You can rely on Tryon. Wow, did you see this?
Barrett News Media. What is that?
Well, they're a national publishing and consulting firm. Media professionals all read their stuff. But look at who they have in the top 15 of the best radio shows in the entire country.
Oh, Focus with Paul W. Smith.
Yeah, JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And, of course, The Mitch Albom Show.
I guess that's what they mean when they say the great voices of the Great Lakes.
I always thought I had a pretty great voice. I really do.
Don't sing, hon. Don't. It ain't that great.
Barrett News Media says they're the tops in the country. Catch all of the great weekday shows and see for yourself the great voices of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Welcome back, 760 WJR. The SAVE Act is one of the most talked about issues in Washington, and really one of the issues that affects everybody, including voters right here in Michigan. I just wanted to point out, we did reach out to both Senator Gary Peters and Senator Alyssa Slotkin today. We actually do that almost weekly. And I don't believe Senator Peters, we didn't fit into his day, and we did not get a response from Senator Slotkin. Is that correct, Beth Ann? Thumbs up? Good. Okay, just wanted to be accurate on that. But we do want to talk about the SAVE Act and a number of different things with a gentleman by the name of Chuck Brown, who is the Michigan chair of Our Republican Legacy, and he was also the state of Michigan co-chair of Republicans for Harris. As you can imagine, no fan of the current president, but I'll let you speak for yourself. Mr. Brown, thanks so much for the time. How would you describe your organization?
Well, thanks, Ryan. It's great to be with you on the great voice of the Great Lakes. Our Republican Legacy is a new group, and we are all about messaging and membership at this point. We are not endorsing candidates. We are not funding candidates. We are not donating to candidates. We're not doing any kind of that PAC work. We're doing issue work. And basically, we are a group of traditional Republicans. We believe in small government. We believe in a strong national defense, and we believe in the rule of law. And the SAVE Act kind of fell into our laps. And it's a very much of a mixed bag, and I appreciated your intro on it. I think you got everything pretty much right. We have a voter ID law in Michigan, and I voted for it. And so there's a lot about electoral integrity that I like and that I'd like to talk about, and particularly because my introduction into politics, basically, after my undergraduate degree at Michigan, I was a practicing lawyer for decades. And I finally got into it as an election day volunteer for the Michigan GOP and the Republican National Lawyers Association. And I went to a lot of districts back when I was a loyal mainstream Republican, looking to see how Democrat-only districts ran things and whether there was any fraud involved. And I've probably been at 90 or so Detroit and the inner ring suburb polling places, looking at them on election day and seeing how they do things. And I was at the infamous counting center, not on the day in 2020 that became such a controversy, but rather I was back there back in 2012 and 2008.
Hey, Chuck, Chuck, let me just jump in. Before we get to this specific issue on the SAVE Act, I just want to make sure I've got my issues correct here. So I totally hear what you're saying about traditional Republican and limited government and everything like that. How does that coincide with Republicans for Harris? Is that, where did that come? How does that happen? Because it just, I have a hard time believing that Kamala Harris embodies those principles, as you say, more than perhaps Donald Trump.
Oh, that's easy. I mean, I'm with Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney on that. They have flawless congressional conservative voting records, and I probably would have too if I had been in Congress when they were there. But the 2024 choice after January 6th, after all of that, it was easy. It was a choice between a normal American lawyer who had been a prosecutor and a state attorney general and a member of the Senate, and somebody who I believed was utterly unfit for office.
Okay, so I can totally understand that part of it. You're just I got it. Okay, anti-Trump. Not so much that Kamala Harris embodies traditional Republican principles. I'm just trying to wrap my head around that portion of the our Republican legacy story or so.
Yeah, our Republican legacy sprang up, and it's honestly it was a number of guys who were part of Republicans for Harris who said to each other, "Hey, we need a new way to get back to our Republican roots." And it's not going to be with a long history of endorsing and working for Democratic candidates. We have to fix our party.
Okay, so let me ask you about the SAVE Act now.
Yes.
What is the controversy? And even if there's not one illegal vote cast in the entirety of the United States of America, why wouldn't you, or why do people oppose voter ID? It's done in what, 36 states or 39 states? Why
and
is
very
it?
much very much including Michigan, and I voted for it to have it in Michigan. So we don't need to worry about photo ID in Michigan. We got it already.
So what is the against here, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, one problem is documentary proof of citizenship. So when you were in civics class, you heard that old story about how the states were the laboratories of American Republican democracy. And a state actually tried this documentary proof of citizenship thing, and it was Kansas. And Kansas was a disaster when they tried to impose this. There were 30 or 31,000 or so Kansans who tried to register and couldn't. They were legal American citizens, and they just didn't have the documentary proof of citizenship that the Kansas law required. Georgia has tried to do the same thing. That law is sitting fallow right now because I don't think they know how to enforce it. Arizona has tried to do it, and they've run into trouble in trying to execute it. And I'll tell you that the federal law, from what I can tell, and there are a whole bunch of different federal proposals all circulating around in Washington right now. It's very difficult to know exactly what is being voted on. But the federal law, the Save America Act provision right now is very, very strict. It's expensive to try to enforce this thing. And Ryan, let me say one other thing.
Please.
There's a reasonable part of what people like you are saying. Let's have IDs to vote, photo IDs, so we know who's voting. And if you can't afford an ID and you don't have one, we'll give you one.
Yes.
That doesn't happen with proof of citizenship. How are you going to give somebody proof of citizenship?
You could figure that out. Listen, that has got to be part of the conversation. I would imagine that everybody agrees on that. Can't we figure that out?
They haven't yet, and that's why we're no on Save America Act.
But good to the voter ID, not to the proof of citizenship. So that's a start.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. They've just got to they've got to figure that part out. I don't know what it takes to prove that you're an American citizen or not. I mean, it feels like it's pretty easy.
It's in the law. it's really difficult.
It feels like it's very easy. I don't know to whether you could prove that you're a citizen or not. Somebody's got to have some kind of record on it. No?
Ask 30,000 Kansans who couldn't do it when they wanted to vote.
All right, we'll try to get one of them on the phone. Hey, Chuck, I appreciate the conversation. I'd love to have you back. I think it's a good discussion.
Let's do it again, yeah.
I think it's a good discussion. Thanks so much. Chuck Brown, Michigan Chair of our Republican Legacy. Your call's next, 760 WJR.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. That's 800-676-1090.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Hennion and Walsh was made for people like you. People who understand the value of experienced, highly skilled professionals. That's why you'll have access to a team of specialists to help you invest for the life you want. Why? You've earned it. We're Hennion and Walsh, and a team built around you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Hennion & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Hennion & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
760 WJR and the Detroit Economic Club are pleased to welcome Austin Goolsbee, President and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, to our podium Tuesday, April 7th at the Masonic Temple in Detroit. In a fireside chat with Detroit Regional Chamber's Sandy Barua, Mr. Goolsbee will discuss the economy, employment, and inflation. Listen to Focus, noon till 2 as we broadcast live. Special coverage sponsored by DFCU Financial. For tickets and more information, visit econclub.org.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This report is sponsored by Batteries Plus. Dead car battery? The experts at Batteries Plus will have you in and out fast. Replacements usually take about 20 minutes. No appointment needed. Want to extend the life of your car battery too? Ask about their premier installation. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
We've got a wreck blocking your right shoulder on I-75 southbound at Sibley Road. Construction slowing you down on M59 westbound between Shanner Road and M53. You only have to deal with that for about another 15 minutes. And we do have some stop and go on I-75 southbound between 14 Mile and I-696. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Mostly cloudy, a chilly day with some scattered snow showers possible. We'll top out around 40. Tonight, partly cloudy, a little cold. Overnight, low 24. And then we flirt with 50 Tuesday under mostly sunny skies. Upper 50s Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Jeff Eno on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
All right, we're talking about voter ID to vote. We're talking about proof of citizenship to register to vote. 36 states have something similar on the books already. And I'm just, again, this is a voter issue that the entire country, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, white, black, Hispanic, all seem to be in favor of. Why can't it get done? It just seems to be excuse after excuse. Well, it's too hard to prove that you're a citizen. Is it? 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0WJR. Latest poll on this just came out. It's a CBS YouGov poll. 80% favor, 95% Republican, 65% of Democrats, 79% of independents. Just we hear our lawmakers say, particularly on the Democratic side, no. But the people, this is an 80-20 issue that the people clearly want. Why can't it get done? Why can't we come to an agreement on it? Jim in Central Florida, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Jim?
I'm Hold up.
Jim, you're on, buddy.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call, my friend.
Thanks for placing it, buddy. How are you watching us? How are you listening to us? That's
I stream you.
I love it. Good stuff. Thank you.
I've been a WJR listener since I was in 8th grade. I'm
God
72.
bless you. God bless you. You're a very smart man.
Well, I don't know about that. My kids are definitely different. But you asked the question, do our voters work for us?
Do our lawmakers work for us? Yes.
They're supposed to. They do not even follow the oath that they swore themselves to. In many cases. They lie to the American public. They mislead. If you got any common sense at all, you'll know. But it's a shame.
Well, it's very troubling. It's very troubling when you have something so easy. This feels like a layup. Okay, this particular issue feels like a layup. If lawmakers were working for the people that elect them, then why can't they get this done? Again, I'll give you the poll, or if you find a poll, how about this? I research this stuff all day, every day. My entire life, right, wrong, or indifferent, is finding information, being informed, to come out here and sit with you all and talk to you about this stuff in an educated way. If you find one poll that shows that a majority of people do not support voter ID to vote and proof of citizenship to register to vote, please send it to me, ryan.ermanni@cumulus.com. That's my email address. Please send it to me, ryan.ermanni@cumulus.com. There isn't one poll that indicates this is not very popular. There's just not. Mike in Clinton Township, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, Ryan. One of the reasons this is going on is because it's ruining part two of the Democratic plan for voting. The first part of their plan was to open the border.
Well, look, that is what the narrative is out there, and I'll say this: prove people wrong. I mean, prove people wrong. Even the population, the number of representatives that are in the different states, the population increases. I understand what you're saying. I believe it is in the best interest of the American public moving forward, for the American people, if this gets passed. And again, this isn't something that is so outlandish. It's so ridiculous. 36 states in our country already have this on the books. 36 of them. So it's not like there are some big voter suppression issues going on in these 36 states. A majority of the country, a healthy majority of the country, has these laws. We should be able to get it done. Let me get to Rob in Sterling Heights. You're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, pretty good, Ryan. First of all, you don't really need photo ID in Michigan to vote because on the back of that form is an affidavit you can sign without having to show ID. So that's one thing. But also,
I will say, Rob, I'll give you the time. I will say I show my picture ID every time I go vote. I'm asked for it.
So do 90% of the people.
Okay.
No problem. But don't you think that all rights should be considered equal? Let me see. For me to exercise my Second Amendment rights, this is what I have to do. I have to pay $115. In many states, it's $500. If you want to buy an NFA item, you have to pay $200 tax stamp, which is gone as of the first of this year. But you had to go through background checks. I had to go through facial recognition. I had to be fingerprinted. I had to fill out forms for the ATF Form 10, which is not easy. I had to make out a trust to go ahead and do this. I had to file with the courts in the state of Michigan. I have to keep the documentation on me everywhere I take that NFA item, or that's a felony. Now, would we do the same thing with voting? Shouldn't we do the exact same thing? Because if you have two rights, they should be treated equally.
Well, it just, if you are against voter ID for this, okay, let's just say you are against voter ID for voting. I would like to know when it is appropriate to require a photo ID. If can somebody explain that part of it to me? Because again, if we don't ask for ID for this, what do you need identification for? When is it acceptable to have ID? I'd love to ask that question. Let me get to Chris in Cadillac. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for placing it.
You've given all the logical, common sense reasons, but I'm going to tell you why it's not happening. It's TDS. I mean, it's Trump derangement syndrome. If you listen to Chuck
Which I
Schumer,
do believe, Chris, I'll give you the time. I do believe that is a real medical condition. I really do. I really do. The more this is going on and the more people joke about it, I legitimately think it is a real medical condition. It should be studied.
I mean, and you can tie it to so many of these things that have blown up in the media of recent. And it's the TDS. They don't want to give Trump a win. And even though 85% of us want it, that would be a win for Trump. And so you got Schumer's and of the ilk, screaming at the top of the mountain.
And Chris, by the way, it's not just Democrats that have TDS. There's a lot of Republicans that do too, that are deliberately trying to not allow him a legislative win either. So it's not just Democrats that experience that. Chris, I'm up against a hard break here. I appreciate the call. Call back anytime. Everybody on hold, stay right there. More of your phone calls next at 800-859-0WJR. We'll take your phone calls. Also, ICE agents at airports around the country, but not here in Detroit. We'll talk about that. 760. We're just getting started on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen. 760 WJR.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you're choosing wholesome ingredients like Eggland's Best eggs to plus up your nutrition. With more than 6 times the vitamin D and double the omega-3s and vitamin B12 compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best supports a healthy lifestyle. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
Move with ease and trust the official mover of the Detroit Pistons, Morse Moving and Storage. Mention WJR when you call and get 10% off your local move or get 2 months of storage free. MorseMoving.com. Let Morse Moving handle the heavy lifting.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
A 5-day window for peace. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump extending a deadline for Iran to reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz, delaying possible attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure and citing good discussions between Iran and 2 U.S. envoys.
But we'll see what happens. I think there's a very good chance we're going to end up in a deal. And so we're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody.
The president says Iran wants peace and agrees not to have a nuclear weapon. But Iran denies that negotiations are happening. The parliament speaker calling it fake news in a post suggesting it's aimed at moving financial markets. And the new window for talks is not a pause in fighting.
We do understand there are more strikes against the Iranian regime, but right now the U.S. and Israeli jets over the country are avoiding the power plant that President Trump threatened over the weekend.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. A detention hearing delayed for the man accused of killing 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman in Chicago. The Loyola University freshman had been on a pier trying to see the northern lights with friends when she was shot last week.
As they were leaving, police say a masked man dressed in black came up, pulled out a gun, and then shot and killed Sheridan as she tried to run away.
Fox's Garrett Tenney in Chicago. DHS says the suspect, 25-year-old Jose Medina, is here illegally from Venezuela.
He was released into the country by the Biden administration when he came across the border in May of 2023. And a month later, he was arrested for shoplifting at a Macy's in Chicago.
After being released on bail in that case, Medina failed to show up in court and an arrest warrant was issued. Now he's charged with multiple felonies, including murder. Fox 32 in Chicago reporting a detention hearing was delayed because he's hospitalized. No details yet. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We've got some slow traffic on I-96 westbound between Kensington Road and Pleasant Valley Road. Also on I-75 southbound between 14 Mile and I-696. Road work closes your right lane on M59 westbound between Shaner Road and M53. And we still have that road work on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Cloudy with occasional snow today, a high of 38. Partly cloudy skies tonight will drop down to 22. Mostly cloudy Tuesday with a high of 47. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
Probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation and learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. 248-435-0400 or go to eplspc.com, 248-435-0400.
Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a Monday. Hopefully everybody's week is off to a great start. We appreciate you spending some of your time with us today. If you are listening on 760 WJR, hello, how are you? Good stuff out there. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm waving to you right now. Hopefully you're waving back and having a good day so far. Continuing to talk about voter ID and the Save America Act. This is the president's main initiative right now, is voter ID and proof of citizenship to register to vote. 36 states in the country right now have something similar, including in Virginia, that just the Democrats ran the table in Virginia just recently in the 2025 special election. And in Georgia, they voted on similar things back in 2021, record turnout in 22, record turnout in 24. So it just, the actual facts for what it does to voting does not coincide with the negative narrative about all of it. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Also, it's not where the American people overwhelmingly favor this. And it's one of those questions. Do our lawmakers, all of them, represent the will of the people? Because that's what should happen. But is that actually what happens? Or just do they represent party interest? And what could be the reason for this? Legitimate reason. 95% of Republicans, 65% of Democrats, 79% of independents. It's all favor this initiative. Let me get to the phones. Tony in Southfield, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Tony? Good to talk to you, my friend.
Hey, Ryan, what's going on?
You, baby, you're going on.
I got a question. Why are we going against the Constitution?
What are you saying specifically against the Constitution?
Well, the Constitution states each state has the right to distinguish the laws for voting. Now we want to make it a national deal.
Well, it is a little bit. It is different because you're not looking to nationalize elections. You're not. But
if we're looking for a national ID, I guess I don't know what he's looking for.
But Tony, 36 states currently already do something similar to this,
and that's fine because they choose to do it because it's done by each state, not nationally. There's not one poll that shows where there's been a massive voter fraud in this country.
And even if, and that goes back to
the White House.
And again, Tony, even if there's not one illegal vote ever cast, let's just throw that out. I mean, I don't know if I agree or disagree with that right now. Just not one vote cast. Do you believe that citizens should be required to show a picture ID to vote?
I agree.
And
I have no problem with that.
Right.
But mail-in ballots, I have no problem with that either.
Yeah, I think that's an issue. I think that's a different issue, and I think that one might even get scrapped. Everything's a negotiation, right? I mean, if there's one thing we know about Donald Trump, everything is a negotiation. What what starts out is usually something that isn't negotiated, a little bit. So forget about the mail-in ballots for a moment. What about the voter ID and the proof of citizenship?
Well, guess what? If the federal government wants it, I think they should supply the funds to each citizen.
I totally agree with that. Now we're getting
Give
somewhere.
us a voucher.
Now we're getting somewhere. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're throwing all this money around. Make it free for citizens to prove that they are citizens and give them a free identification. Totally agree with that.
I don't understand what's wrong with the license. They just had everybody, what was it, last year, back in May?
Yep.
Was the last time to get your ID certified to get on the airplane?
Yes.
Had to have the little hologram with a star in the corner?
But again, that's only in Michigan, right? That's only in Michigan. So that should be good enough.
I think so.
Tony,
I work for the polls.
See, Tony, it is much more agreed upon if normal people like you and I can have the conversation instead of these politicians out there who are doing, I don't know what they're doing out there besides not getting the work of the people done.
Ryan, can I say one more thing?
You got it, Tony. You're my man. You know that.
I know some illegals, right?
Mhm.
They do work. They do great work.
God
But
bless them.
Not none of one of them wants to vote. They could care less about voting.
Perfect.
Despite what people might think.
Perfect. I mean, hey, Tony, you are the man. I always appreciate your call and your perspective, my friend.
All right, Ryan, talk with you.
You got it. Let me get to Greg in Fraser. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for placing it, buddy. How you doing today?
All right, pretty good. How are you?
I'm fantastic so far.
Oh, good. I just had a question. What problem are we trying to solve with this bill?
Making people believe in elections. That's the problem you're solving.
Since there hasn't been shown any voter fraud, why is this so important right now? There's really everything that's been documented, there's no voter fraud problem.
Greg?
And having this as a priority above other things, it seems like, I'm just wanted to ask why.
Well,
why is this a priority over, say, publicly funded elections, or certifying the war in Iran, or why is this such a priority at this time if this is only going to increase voter turnout?
So the problem is to ensure the elections are secure, to ensure the integrity of the election, to ensure that people believe the results of the election. And if you think it's just Republicans that don't agree with election results, go listen to Jasmine Crockett when she just lost her primary a couple of weeks ago. Go listen to Stacey Abrams. Go listen to Hillary Clinton. I mean, it is, we want to ensure that we have integrity and belief in our institutions. That's it. That is why this is such a big issue.
Roadblocks to people voting, like for women that have their birth certificate in, say, their maiden name.
Yeah, I think that is.
To maybe bring their birth certificate and then their wedding license, and then if you moved or you had a common name, like in Kansas, a lot of people were thrown off the rolls because they had a common name and they had moved, and so when they tried to register in one district, they said, "Oh, well, according to your birth certificate, you live in this other district," and then they just kicked them off the voter rolls right away and gave them a temporary ballot.
Look, I am not a woman, clearly, but I will say I think that is one of the biggest insults to women, to say that they are not, that they can't figure out if they're married how to prove that they are who they say they are. That's just my personal belief. Fair enough.
To vote?
What's that?
Okay, we can. You're making it harder for women to vote than for men to vote.
Yeah, I just disagree.
Hey, Greg, we disagree.
Okay. Who do we have here? Beth Ann?
Genevieve Peters Scott just called in. She wants to comment on this.
Great. And is this, Who is this? It's on the call-in line. That's why I'm.
I believe then she has our call-in number.
Okay. This is just a call because sorry, we were trying to get Senator Gary Peters, and I see the name Peters on the call-in line. I wanted to make sure that wasn't Senator Gary Peters on the line.
No.
Okay, that's where the confusion was. I apologize. Okay, so while I got you here, actually, Genevieve, Peter, Scott, Elaine, everybody else on hold, stay right there. I gotta get to a break. I was gonna, if this was Senator Gary Peters, I was gonna say the hell with the break and we'll just talk to him. But we're gonna take a break. We'll get back to this 760 WJR.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, "Please, God, no."
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Use daily. One platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. No. I said more fun! When I was a kid, a Children's Miracle Network hospital helped me get back on my feet, literally. So trust me when I say that these places aren't just hospitals. They are hope factories. Children's Miracle Network is hospitals, programs, partners, and donors like you. Join us in making big change for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. We make mortgages easy, and we believe transparency is the key to great client service. Our clients get the lowest rate and fees while communicating with one home loan advisor from start to finish. To make your experience even easier, we're going to cover the cost of your appraisal. Transparent and direct communication, lowest rates and fees, and a free appraisal. The client just means more at Hall Financial. 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1467435.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk with The Vince Show.
It is a reflection of your response to this program that we get to take this thing to the next level. These gigantic shows. This is going to be so much fun. It's unbelievable.
In-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
I've got updates. I've got big stories. We'll sort through the truth of what's really going on. So buckle up. Here it comes.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm. From Birmingham to Belle Isle and beyond, Guardian Alarm has kept homes and businesses safe for over 90 years with 24/7 local live monitoring. Guardian Alarm protects your neighborhood because they know your neighborhood. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
It's a slow go on I-94 eastbound between I-96 and I-75. Also on I-94 eastbound between Gratiot and Cadju. Those lane restrictions on I-94 eastbound between Connor and East Outer Drive have been lifted, but expect some delays on I-94 westbound between 75 and I-96 and I-96 westbound between Kensington Road and Pleasant Valley Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Some warmer temperatures are on the way. I don't think we'll see some records, but definitely getting warmer. Scattered snow showers possible today, mostly cloudy up to around 40. Tonight, partly cloudy, 24. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 49. For the Weather Channel, I'm Jeff Eno on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk, President Donald Trump is urging Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster and remain in Washington to pass the Save America Act. The legislation faces significant hurdles as it lacks the 60 votes needed to overcome procedural opposition. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
All right, let's get back to the phone lines and talk more about the SAVE Act. I do want to currently talk about eventually talk about ICE agents at airports, which we saw today. But I had a little bit of confusion because we have been communicating with Senator Gary Peters' office a couple of times trying to get him on today, and it just didn't work out with his schedule. And then I saw Peters on our call-in line. I wanted to make sure that we had our ducks in a row. But Genevieve Peters, Scott, who is also running for United States Senate here in the great state of Michigan, is on with us now. Thank you so much for calling in on this topic, and sorry for the confusion.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, this is a very important issue, and thanks so much for bringing it up. I mean, proof of citizenship should just be a no-brainer. It shouldn't have to come to this, and unfortunately, it has. There has been absolute proof that people that's unacceptable and that cannot stand. The other thing is that the SAVE Act also directs states to take steps to identify and remove non-citizens from their voter rolls, and especially in Michigan, because as you know, in 2018, the law changed that you automatically are registered as soon as you go for your license or your state ID. That's a huge problem because there are also people that don't understand English. They might not click the box that says, are you a citizen? Are you not a citizen? And you automatically get registered. That's problematic.
And I think right now, as it stands, all the states that are run by Republicans have shared their voter rolls with the federal government, and all the states that currently have Democratic governors have not. And it's just, it leads to chaos. While I have you here, let me just ask you, I'm not sure if you caught the end of what I said, though, with this argument about it will make it harder for women to vote. I currently, not a woman, but I think it is extremely insulting to insinuate that a woman is not smart enough to figure out how to go register to vote if she's married.
Actually laughable, Ryan. And when I heard that, even the initial, the left and the Democrats putting up that, it's just, again, another barrier for them to be able to push this narrative about why they want to bloat the rolls with people that shouldn't be voting in the first place. So no, it is offensive, and there's no way. I got married, and within 24 hours, I changed my driver's license. I changed my Social Security card. And when I went into the Social Security office, they said, you have to make an appointment. And I saw none of, the people were actually helping anyone. I said, well, I'll just wait. And I mean, that's how much it took. It literally took me 24 hours. So no, that's another excuse to bloat our voting rules, and it doesn't stand. It's offensive. Agreed.
And again, it just doesn't line up with what we're seeing on states that recently passed similar laws, like in Virginia, where Democrats did win landslides all over the place, all up and down the ballot. They have these rules. Georgia, same thing.
Right.
We've seen this in the past. It just doesn't coincide with what we're actually seeing.
Correct. And it's another excuse.
You got it. Genevieve Peters, Scott, we really appreciate it. All the best running for U.S. Senate. We got to have you back sometime where we can get a full segment dedicated to some of the things that you'd like to do as we move forward here in election season.
I would love that. And just know, Ryan, my name, Genevieve Peter Scott. My initials are GPS because I am the right direction for Michigan.
Love that. Love that. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Ms. Scott. We appreciate it. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Let me get to Elaine in Clinton Township. You're on 760 WJR. Hi, Elaine.
Well, hi. Well, I've been meaning to call, and I just haven't this I'm going to call on. I listened to you since it first went on, and you didn't need to improve because you started out good. Where you been all our lives?
Thank you very much, Elaine. I appreciate it.
Well, about this whole thing, I have to ask, what's anybody got to hide? What do, and when you got a horse in a barn, and you can kind of foresee that the horse can get out of the barn, you want to lock the door before it gets out of the barn. So by having this law doesn't mean that people will do something wrong. It means they can or they could. And so you just want to preclude that before it happens, dumbwit.
Well, thanks so much, Elaine. I appreciate the call. I would just say this about the Save America Act. And for everybody that opposes it, specifically our two Democratic senators who vote against it, who we have both invited here today, and we invite all throughout the time here. I love to. I just don't understand it. Okay, so if you want the voter ID, why not just have some compromise moving forward then? What do you want? Just anything that is moved forward to secure the elections, forget about it. So we'll get that. We'll get more on that in the coming days, weeks, months. We'll have it. I wanted to get to this if I could. President Trump deploying ICE agents to airports around the country to help TSA officers. And this is, I don't even know how to say it, but the DHS partial government shutdown is completely unnecessary. So on Saturday, the call-out rate for TSA agents was 11.5%. That is the highest call-out rate since the shutdown began. The average call-out rate on a normal day pre-shutdown was 2%. So how much urgency is there to end this shutdown? How much will this light a fire under lawmakers to do their job? Adam Stahl, the acting deputy TSA administrator, says that ICE agents will support TSA agents, meaning they will be conducting non-specialized security support, things like manning exit lanes, crowd management, line control. Border czar Tom Homan made the round on the Sunday shows yesterday. And here's Homan on CNN with Dana Bash.
With respect, if you're doing this in 24 hours, how well thought out could it possibly be?
Again, ICE has been at airports across the country for a long time. It's just expanding those things. Look, how much of a plan does it mean to guard an exit to make sure no one comes through that exit? We're talking about security options, and these officers are well trained in security, and they're well trained in identification. And look, we're going to do what we can to help TSA move those people through the line.
So he also said they will not be screening bags or anything like that because ICE agents are not trained for that type of security detail. One thing you will not see is masks on ICE agents at airports. And while President Trump said he does believe that agents should wear masks on the street, he does not want them to wear masks at the airport. And what we've seen so far, just pull open your apps, pull open your social media apps, because people at the airport now are taking pictures of ICE agents' faces. If you ever wondered why ICE agents wear masks, I guess I would just ask you, do you believe that their wives and kids should be harassed and they should be doxxed? I mean, because that's why they're wearing masks. It's a safety issue. I mean, even now, they're just guarding lines at the airport, and people are taking pictures of their faces, trying to dox them. For what purpose? 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. No ICE agents, as we know right now, are at Detroit Metro. Shout out to Detroit Metro Airport. Everybody involved at DTW, showing up to work, doing the job, and getting those lines through. 760 WJR.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9814. 800-575-9814. That's 800-575-9814 or simply visit tra.com.
Tom Graham. Flights are resuming this afternoon at New York's LaGuardia Airport after 2 pilots were killed when an Air Canada jet smashed into a fire truck. Fox's CB Cotton is at LaGuardia.
Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which operates the airport, said the Air Canada flight was coming in from Montreal just before midnight last night when this collision happened. We know the fire truck was responding to a separate issue.
Before the collision, air traffic controller could be heard on communications frantically telling the fire truck to stop. President Trump says there are several points of agreement following peace talks between the U.S. and Iran.
They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal too. We're going to get together today.
President speaking before boarding Air Force One. Iran has denied talks were being held. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
It's a slow commute on I-94 westbound between I-75 and I-96. Those lane restrictions have lifted on 94 eastbound between Connor Street and East Outer Drive. Still seeing some brake lights on 94 eastbound between Mount Elliott Street and Connor Street. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Cloudy with occasional snow showers today, a high of 38. Partly cloudy skies tonight will drop down to 22. Mostly cloudy Tuesday with a high of 47. Right now overcast and 38 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
People call Michigan Auto Law when they need help, not just because we win more million-dollar settlements than
Coming in 3, in 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon. He's running for governor. Coming in 3, in 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, we're going to talk to Congressman John James running for governor in the great state of Michigan. We'll talk to him about all of the latest legislative actions on the books, and also the IRS data from 2022 and 2023 is out, where people are moving from and where they're moving to.
Hey there, homeowners. Living in Michigan means enjoying the beauty of all 4 seasons, but it also comes with unpredictable weather. Weather that can cause power surges, which can pose serious threats to appliances, heating and cooling systems, and expensive electronics. Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical to let you know that whole home surge protectors can save you thousands in potential damages and give you peace of mind. Visit familyheating.com to find the location nearest you and ask about our whole home surge protectors today. That's familyheating.com.
Move with ease and trust the official mover of the Detroit Pistons, Morse Moving and Storage. Mention WJR when you call and get 10% off your local move or get 2 months of storage free. MorseMoving.com. Let Morse Moving handle the heavy lifting.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
Never miss the Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets. The Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories.
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
But at a depth and breadth that only Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day.
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
And into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Thankfully, we have not seen these problems here in Detroit. And again, as each day moves further, we have no idea what will happen when it comes to travel or what airports will look like. On Saturday, there was an 11.5% call-out rate for TSA agents around the country. That was the highest rate since the shutdown began. Insert ICE agents at airports across the country, at 14 airports across the country. Thankfully, right now, we are not seeing these problems in Detroit. So we are also not seeing ICE agents in Detroit. But if you pop open your social media accounts and you see these interactions with ICE officers, I just saw one at JFK Airport where you've got these reporters, the reporters harassing ICE agents, taking pictures of their faces because President Trump has asked ICE officers not to wear masks at airports. He supports the masks out on the street, but not at airports. Because, as he says, generally at airports, you're not going to have all the murderers and rapists and drug dealers flying in and out. Those were his words, not mine. But there is a clear reason why these ICE agents wear the masks, and that is just so they don't get doxxed. I would believe that no human being, I would like to believe that no human being wants, even though I know there's not 100% of anything, wants the husbands or wives of ICE agents and their children harassed or threatened. At least I would hope that there's enough common decency out there amongst people who you may not agree with ICE, you may hate the jobs that they do, but they are doing a job, and they are also enforcing laws that are on the books. There have been no new laws that have been passed. These are laws that are on the books for the last 25 years since 9/11. So, do what you want with that. Don in Greenfield, you're on 760 WJR. Hi, Don. Don, you there?
Hello.
Hello,
Yep.
Don.
I'm here.
I am too, buddy. What do you got for us? You're on the air.
The main problem with this country is initially when we started the country, they wanted the people's view to be expressed in Washington. Because technology back then was so limited, we decided to elect representatives to go to Washington and express the will of the people. With technology today, politicians are redundant. If you want to know whether ICE agents should be in the airport, you put it up on the web, you log in, whether it's your Social Security, voter ID, and let the people say what they want. voter ID, put it to a vote to the people.
Don?
It'll be done in 3 days. They can tabulate the votes probably in a day and figure out what the people want.
Don?
We're still using the 1800 system.
Hey, Don.
Yes.
I agree with you. I think, listen, I think that is, when it comes to this voter ID stuff, put it on the ballot. Just like marijuana, just like marijuana was on the ballot. You know, just
you
like.
You don't have to go to a ballot. You could log in on the internet.
But yeah, no, but nobody's going to believe that what happens on the internet. You can hack the internet. That's why we're not doing elections on the internet or via the web.
People don't believe when you go to the voting booth.
Well, that's true.
So what's the difference?
That's true. But I do believe, and thanks so much for the call, Don. I do believe that might be the next logical solution. Put all of these initiatives on a ballot. Put voter ID on the ballot. Put proof of citizenship on the ballot. Let the American people go to the ballot. Forget about all the polls. Forget about all of the politicians. Just put it on the ballot. Like, do you want legalized marijuana? You want to be able to smoke weed on your front porch. If you can put that on a ballot, you can put, do you want voter ID to vote? Do you want proof of citizenship to vote? You can put that on a ballot too. Let the people decide it and move forward. It'll be the be-all, end-all. Mark in Rochester Hills, you're on 760 WJR. Hi, Mark.
How you doing, Ryan? How are you?
I'm fantastic. Mark, how you doing today, buddy?
Great, thanks. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. Really, I mean, I'm bilingual myself. I'm an immigrant myself, okay? And if I go to open an account in a bank, they need picture ID. How the hell you are not U.S. citizen and you would like to vote and they allow you to vote? Who does that other than cheaters? There's no other explanation to it. So I'm just expressing myself of what is going on in this country. When I came to this country, it wasn't the way it is now. I can see these politicians are not doing what voters voted them in. That's all.
That's the best call of the day, Mark.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you, Mark. It's the best call of the day. What?
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. God bless you. There is somebody that wasn't born here that doesn't want non-citizens to vote in elections either. And what's the motivation for it? What is the motivation for it? Because it's not to protect minorities. It's not to protect married women. That is the biggest insult to me. I'll let the women speak for themselves. I'm not a woman. But again, I don't understand what the motivation is, especially when it's just universal. Before I get to a break here, let me just mention that there is a major development in the war in Iran. We didn't talk much about this today because most of the show was about the Save America Act. But President Trump says that he has instructed the Department of War to postpone strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for 5 days, and that the United States and Iran have had very good and productive conversations. There was a Truth Social post about it. Now, Iran has said that these conversations have never taken place and are not taking place, and they don't know what the president is talking about. Fake news, they're calling it. But the president is saying that they are having very good and productive conversations and perhaps a winding down of the war. The market really likes that. The market was up over 2% at one point today. Right now, the market is up 747 points. That's 1.64%. So the market reacting very positively to that news that the war could be potentially winding down as these conversations are taking place. Oil down over 9% today. on this news as well. That is a good part of the day as well. We'll talk to Steve Courtney. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intra-disc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm. Metro Detroit business owners, take your security system to the next level with Guardian Alarm. From video surveillance to fire protection and more, Guardian Alarm will install the ideal security system for your business and budget. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for your free security consultation.
We've got some slow traffic on I-75 northbound between the Davison and I-696. Those lane restrictions have been lifted on I-94 eastbound between Connor Street and East Outer Drive, and expect stop and go on I-94 westbound between I-75 and I-96. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Headed to the upper 50s Wednesday and then mid-60s on the way for Thursday. Today, mostly cloudy. We'll get up to around 40 with scattered snow showers possible. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 24. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 49. From the Weather Channel, I'm Jeff Eno on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
760 WJR. How's your bracket? That is a question that many people were asking at the water cooler today, perhaps. And so much more. Let's get into it with our good friend, Steve Courtney. Steve-O, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, fella?
Feeling like
right
$1 million
there?
over here. Feeling like $1 million. $1 million.
That's what I love to hear. Well, we know on this Monday there, Mr. Ryan,
for the 5th time, the Michigan State Spartans and your Michigan basketball Wolverines have reached the Sweet 16. Up next for Tom Izzo and the Spartans, they get UConn. A nice little prime time start, 9:45 on Friday night. You will hear that right here, of course, on WJR. Spartans going in 27-7. The Huskies, they're 31-5, getting past UCLA last night. All that action going on at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Interesting couple of fine head coaches in this tilt, Ryan, with Tom Izzo and, of course, Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley, from time to time, has been known to speak his mind. And apparently, as doing some light reading today, he is a big follower of Tom Izzo. As a matter of fact, back in 2024, when Hurley was offered the Lakers job, he consulted Tom Izzo, get his thoughts on that particular situation. And Tom said, look, based on what's going on in college basketball right now, I would take a look at it, would hate to lose a guy like Dan Hurley because Magnum TI says he's one of the good ones. He's one that really cares about the kids. So that's an interesting dynamic there. Meanwhile, your Wolverines find themselves in Chicago Friday night, 7:35. Who do they get? That would be number 4, Alabama. Of course, the Wolverines, a number 1 seed for all the right reasons, going about their business rather methodically. No question about that. How much is Alabama missing their junior guard, Aiden Holloway, who was, got into some trouble because he was kind of trying to move a little jazz cabbage.
Or a lotta,
as the case may be. But how about this? I think we've had our conversations throughout this college hoop season, Ryan. The Big Ten, held in high regard by many for all the right reasons, as it turns out. The Big Ten Conference, 13-3 through the first 2 rounds of this tournament, and a record 6, count them, 6 teams in the Sweet 16.
And not only that, but I mean, legit Big Ten teams too. I mean, Michigan State, Nebraska, Illinois, Michigan, Purdue. Is that 6? I think that's 6.
Yeah, Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska. By the way,
Iowa,
Nebraska,
yeah, there you go, Iowa. Jeez.
Yeah, they're playing Thursday night. Illinois, Michigan, Michigan State. But you go back to last night, 9th-seeded Iowa knocking off the defending champion, top-ranked Florida, 73-72. You know what? Am I wrong? Or watching this tournament, you kind of forget about all the trouble that college basketball, college sports is going through. Do you sense that?
Well,
I just love watching this thing.
It's great. You do forget about it because, look,
the competition.
I love the upsets when they happen. But when, I don't want to see Florida Atlantic in the Final Four. I don't want to see George Mason in the Final Four. No offense to Dusty May, because, I mean, if he didn't get Florida Atlantic to the Final Four, he probably wouldn't be Michigan's coach. But, I mean, look at these teams that are still alive. I mean, these are all Power 5 conference type teams. In Michigan State, UConn, St. John's, and Duke, is that the greatest regional bracket you've ever seen in your life? I mean,
it's insane.
That is incredible.
Well, Sweet 16 action for the record.
No cheapies in there.
No, sir. Sweet 16 action will get underway. Remember, Thursday night with 4 tilts: Texas, Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas, Arizona, Illinois, and Houston. Big basketball game tonight for your Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. Who's in town? That would be LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers. They're 46-25, third in the Western Conference. The Pistons continue, even without Cade, to be in first place in the Eastern Conference. The Lakers 10 games behind OKC in the West. And it goes to show you the season that the Thunder are having. They're 56-15. Something's got to break here, Ryan. The Pistons going to the tilt tonight, having won 3 in a row. And how about the Lakers? They are trying to extend their 9-game win streak. The Pistons 27-8 on the home floor. The Lakers away from home, they're 23-13. Jalen Duren averaging 19.2 points, 10.5 boards for the Detroiters. LeBron averaging 21.1 points, 5.8 rebounds, 6.8 assists for the Lakers. But the dude doing the most damage is Luka Doncic. He's averaging, how about this, 38.7 points, 8.7 boards while shooting just under 49% over his last 10. You talk about a force, sir.
They've won 9 in a row, too. If they play like this, I would have never thought in a million years the Lakers could come out of the West. But the way they're playing right now, I think they absolutely are a threat to win the Western Conference.
Well, it's shaping up to be a dogfight. There's no question about it. But that being said, the Pistons just kind of taking care of their business. They haven't lost since Cade went down with the collapsed lung. Hopefully it continues. And not to mention, they've also been without Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart. He's got that calf issue. Boston, 4.5 games out in the East. The Knicks, 5. The Cavaliers, 7.5. Meanwhile, the Red Wings, obviously a little setback on their home ice Saturday night. The Cat, Alex DeBrincat, put the Red Wings ahead over Boston 2-1, 4:06 in the third. And you're thinking, come on, boys, just hang on. They didn't. The Bruins get the 4-2 win. So we've got a redo now as far as the Atlantic Division. Ryan, you got Buffalo on top at 95 points, Tampa Bay with 91, Le Habitant du Montreal with 86, the aforementioned Bruins now with 86, the Red Wings with 84, and the Ottawa Senators, don't count them out, they're at 81. As fate would have it, the Red Wings and Senators will meet tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, maybe some good news. Red Wings head coach Todd McClellan saying that the captain, Mr. Larkin, will be a game-time decision. But the Red Wings, right now, this is the bad news. The Red Wings on the outside looking in as far as the wild card spot. They are 1 point behind now the Islanders for the second wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. Got to win.
12 games to go. I think it's going to take 12 points. They gotta find a way to get 12. I think it's going to take 96 points to get into the postseason because the teams in the East just continue to win. Boston, Montreal, Buffalo. I mean, all these teams just win. Be nice to play in the West, and you only need 75 points to get in the postseason. My goodness.
Yeah, and then you look at the extended schedule here for the Red Wings. They've got some challenging games coming up. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I mentioned the Ottawa Senators tomorrow night. Then you're going to be on the road against the Buffalo Sabres. Then you also have road games left against the Penguins, against the Flyers, against the Rangers, Philadelphia, New York, whatever. But you also have Minnesota at home. So it doesn't get any easier here. And again, nobody knows it more than the dudes in that dressing room. You've just got to take care of your business.
No place for a nervous person there, Steve-O, that's for sure. No place for a nervous person. All right, my friend. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll be listening. I want to thank Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski. More importantly, I want to thank you for making us part of your day. Whether you listen on the radio, 760 WJR, or on YouTube, you're watching us. Make it a great day today, ladies and gentlemen. Mitch Albom is next, 760 W.